come over. And a Happy New Year.
This is your main event. Mark's podcast, brought to you by the Unhinged Sports Radio Network and the Belly Up Sports Podcast Network. I'm your first host, lifelong wrestling fan, former radio guy, and cat dad. I am Troy, and with me as always is the WWE Walking Wrestling Encyclopedia and the main event collector. He is the Rhino to my Heath Slater. He's Greg. What's up, Greg?
Oh, man, my favorite wrestler's Stang, man.
Wow. Good grief. So, I got
Major Pod will get that.
I got kids. I need this podcast, and you're just sitting there eating Cheese Whiz off of crackers.
What the hell eats Cheese Whiz off of freaking saltines, by the way? That one got me so much. I'm like, that is so disgusting.
I think Cheese Whiz is disgusting. So, I mean, it grows me out all the way around, but yeah, I don't know.
It's pretty good on Ritz, I think.
Yeah, I didn't catch that one, by the way. nice catching that.
Like, why?
Well, it's like, why is a guy from Detroit hanging out with like the deep South white redneck, and they're doing
just from Detroit? So I mean, don't just assume that.
Well, yeah, that's true, and it doesn't get much more white than that. Oh man, but. Yeah, ladies and gents, today we are covering one of the most recent shows we have ever covered. And
we're hopping in the kind of back machine.
Yeah, not the Wayback Machine, just it's sort of in the past machine. This one is TLC Tables, Ladders, and Chairs 2016. Wow. And as I was looking through the lineage of this show, I didn't forget that the show happened. I just forgot when. It wasn't this one, thank God. But do you remember that year where it was tables, ladders, chairs, and stairs?
Yeah. I mean, that stairs match is pretty memorable. Didn't it leave like a freaking huge hematoma on Eric Rowan's head?
Oh, my gosh. Yeah. Yeah, you know what? Only stairs are illegal in this one. God dang it, pal. I must have more steel stairs. Like, who the hell pitched that match? And then between those two, Eric Rowan and The Big Show.
Oh, if you're going to have a stairs match, who the hell else are you going to get?
Oh, yeah. I don't know. Maybe somebody entertaining.
What are you saying?
You know what? All I can say to that, I'm going to get it out of the way early, man. All I can say to that is,
shut up and take my money.
I had to get it in early. God. This one is actually, I don't know. I mean, not to ruin anything, with our final ratings and all that, but this was actually a pretty decent show. I thought. I didn't hate watching any of it. Some of it was really good. Some of it was, it was there, so.
You happy?
Yeah, it's like, I guess, I guess that happened. It's it's in the record books, out there.
2 years from this, I would be at the event.
How many years?
I think it was 2018, so 2 years.
Ah, okay, gotcha. Well, I have never been to a TLC event. It's not one of them where it's like it's on my bucket list where it's like, oh man, I want to go to TLC. But at the same time, it's usually a fun event. I mean, there's only been a couple of them that I can think of that weren't, I wasn't like jumping out of my seat for. Usually they're pretty good. They got some good stuff, especially if you're into all the weapons stuff and all that. It's fun. And this one was no different. We didn't get a ladder match per se on this one. I don't believe. We got a no DQ match. I'm sorry, we did get a ladder match and a chairs match.
It was really good too.
Yeah, and a chairs match, a tables match, and a TLC match. So we got it all in there. But we'll cover all of that. Before we officially dive into the news and notes, however, we are going to take a quick break to let you know that the Main Event Marks is sponsored by Fanatics. Get all your officially licensed sports gear with Fanatics at fanatics.com. The actual link is down in the podcast description. If you could go ahead and click on that and just let them know that the Main Event Marks and the Unhinged Sports Radio Network sent you when you go to check out.
Also, we're sponsored by Swift Lifestyles. They are clean energy drinks and focus enhancers and great tasting vitamins and big brain nootropics that are made and shipped from the USA. Go to swiftlifestyles.com and use our special promo code MAINEVENTMARKS, that's all one word, for 15% off your order. And as always, make sure that you follow us on all forms of social media. Twitter and Instagram, we're at @MainEvent_Marks. You can also follow Greg on Instagram at MainEventCollector. On Facebook, we're facebook.com/MainEventMarksPod. And you can get links to all of our social media, our merchandise stores, and all of our many avenues that you can listen to the podcast on our link tree. That's linktr.ee/main-event-marks. Check it out. Go to our link tree and figure out how many ways you can listen to the podcast, including YouTube. Buy some swag from our Swag Shack, aka our Bonfire and Redbubble stores. And you can follow us on all forms of social media by going to linktr.ee/main-event-marks. It's the easiest way to get all of those links in one location.
But now that is all done and out of the way, we are going to take our first break. When we come back, it is TLC 2016, right after this.
Follow us on Twitter at @MainEvent_Marks, Instagram at @MainEvent_Marks, and at @MainEventCollector, and Facebook at facebook.com/MainEventMarksPod. Get ready to rumble in your new Main Event Marks merchandise. We've got t-shirts, hoodies, masks, hats, stickers, pins, and much more on our Redbubble store. That's maineventmarks.redbubble.com. You can also pick up some awesome clothing items with the latest updated show graphics on our Bonfire store. That's bonfire.com/store/main-event-marks. Support your favorite retro wrestling podcast and pick up some cool swag on our Bonfire and Redbubble stores. That's maineventmarks.redbubble.com and bonfire.com/store/main-event-marks.
Hey gang, it's Commissioner Cooper of TSS Fantasy. We are the fantasy show of the people. Expert fantasy advice, free contests, leading expert medical and legal analysis, and most importantly, you. Interact with us on all social media platforms or check us out at tssfantasy.com. You can hear us on Spotify, Apple and Google Podcasts, iHeartRadio, and many more. Check out the fun today and be a part of the most interactive fantasy show around. TSS Fantasy, the fantasy show of the people.
The Main Event Marks are available wherever you get podcasts. Go to our link tree at linktr.ee/main-event-marks.
And we're back.
We're back.
Before we dive into the news and notes, just remember to follow us on all forms of social media, Twitter and Instagram. It's at mainevent_marks. And you can follow Greg on Instagram at maineventcollector. Facebook is facebook.com/maineventmarkspod. And you can find all of our links to our podcast, YouTube, social media, and our swag shacks, aka our merchandise stores on Bonfire and Redbubble. It's linktr.ee/maineventmarks. All right, time to get into the news. It's a big semi-wrestling related story that was, being floated around, so I just figured I'd throw it in here and we'll move on without getting into it, and you'll see why. President-elect Donald Trump has chosen Linda McMahon to head the Small Business Administration. Didn't she have to, officially get out of WWE, completely at this point?
I have no clue.
I seem to remember something about she sold off her stock or gave it to Vince or something, because I think she personally...
Is she already in politics?
She ran for the Senate, I think, out in Connecticut, where they live. And she lost horribly multiple times and spent millions of dollars on those races.
Oh, well, money well spent.
Yeah, right. Well, that's why, you can see, the last one that she lost, you can see, she's giving her concession speech on the stage, and her family's all behind her, and you can see Vince, crying, really bad. And people were like, yeah, he's crying because he's like, how many millions did I waste?
First XFL, now this crap. Oh God.
Yeah, it's not the first business venture he's wasted millions of dollars on. So yeah, whatever. I'll tell you what, man.
I mean, nobody likes losing money, but he can probably bounce back. So
yeah, I think he's okay. Like, you know, he's okay. His kids are okay. His kids are okay. You know, oh man, I won't be able to get my pool painted gold with real gold now.
Yeah, you gotta eat out.
You ever see that episode of South Park where they were like using Napster for music and they were taking around? They were taking them around.
My favorite one was now Britney Spears can't have two pools in her backyard because you stole her music.
Yeah, right. And there's Lars Ulrich from Metallica can't get that gold crusted fish tank in his house this week. Now he'll have to wait until next week.
You son of a bitch.
Yeah, right. Oh, good grief. To the surprise of nobody, Raw tickets for April 3rd in Orlando at the Amway Arena the day after WrestleMania are sold out. Tickets went on sale.
And I was lucky enough to get them that day.
Oh, it was, I'm trying to think. WrestleMania 2017, that was 33. So, yeah. That's right. That was the one where the Hardys returned, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, okay. That's right. I remember you were there. And they had the big, and that was when the New Day were the hosts of WrestleMania and all that. That was cool.
AJ had one of the greatest matches ever. That was a damn good one. Yeah,
it was pretty good. And they beat the snot out of each other, dude, because Shane doesn't really know how to pull his punches. So AJ was like, F it, we're going to throw hands. But tickets went on sale to the public with about 14,000 tickets on sale. They went quickly, with tens of thousands of travelers coming in, and with activities scheduled all week, including the Hall of Fame on Friday, NXT on Saturday, and both Raw and SmackDown on Monday and Tuesday, the arena tickets are often the quickest to go. Did you go to all of those shows?
I did.
I know you and I did in Nolans for 34. That was fun as hell. We were actually talking about TakeOver New Orleans the other day. I forgot. I got it confused. Yeah. Because there was something that happened, and I was like, oh, yeah, and you were like, oh, no, that happened in New Orleans. And I was like, oh, yeah, that's right, I forgot, because we were at multiple takeovers together.
Actually, cool.
Yeah.
Actually, I should say back when there were takeovers. We haven't seen one in a while.
Well, yeah, well, now do they all just take place in Orlando now?
Yeah, and they don't have takeover name on there, so I think it'll be back there.
Yeah, you'd like to hope. In an appearance on ESPN's 5 Rounds podcast with Brett Okamoto and Brian Campbell, Conor McGregor.
An MMA story. Okay.
Yeah, right. Conor McGregor's agent, Audie Attar, I don't know how you pronounce it, addressed the possibility that we could see McGregor make an appearance at WrestleMania 33. Predictably, Attar said that they'd be willing to entertain offers from WWE if the financial terms are satisfactory, which they apparently weren't.
They got Gronk, though.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
That's actually cool, not a jerk, so there's that.
That's one, though.
He's an idiot, but...
Right. And I know, there's still time. It's not like he's dead or disabled or anything, but Conor McGregor's one I'm kind of shocked hasn't popped up in wrestling yet.
He will.
Yeah, I'm sure. Well, speaking of MMA fighters and wrestling, do you see Kane Velasquez return to the ring for AAA?
I didn't see it, but someone posted it, yeah.
Yeah, I haven't seen the match. I hope he's dressed more like, because I haven't seen pictures or video or anything. I hope he's dressed more like what he did in WWE and not like his first appearance in AAA, because he basically just wore track pants and a mask in AAA. That looks so stupid. Like, he looked like an actual wrestler when he was in WWE. The WWE has confirmed that Jerry Lawler and Amy Lita Dumas have been removed from regular weekly programming. Both have been moved from full-time deals to Legends contracts, and the decision was made to take them off the pre-show panels before Raw, SmackDown, and pay-per-view events.
Well, that Jerry Lawler one wouldn't last long.
Yeah, is he currently commentating full-time? I forget.
He does the pre-show panels. He was on Raw last night, too.
Oh,
Well, I
okay,
record early. But they were in Memphis, by the way, too, so there's that.
Oh, of course. Well, and he, I guess he just signed a new deal with WWE, a new Legends contract, so. He's starting to look his age. Well, he's been looking his age, but I think he's finally letting his hair go, by the way, because I just saw a picture of him and I'm like, wow, you are very gray and very thin on top now. Did he look that way on Raw, or?
I didn't really look, or I couldn't tell.
Oh, okay. Yeah, because the picture he posted, it was from Memphis, so I was assuming he looked that way. I was just like, wow, because he usually, like, dyes his hair and everything before he's seen in public. Sasha Banks and Charlotte Flair will again be making history at Roadblock End of the Line later this month. It was announced on Raw that Banks would defend the Raw Women's Championship against Charlotte in a 30-minute Iron Woman match at WWE's final pay-per-view of the year. Banks issued the challenge to Charlotte, and it was revealed that she had accepted later in the night. Banks was previously involved in the only other women's Iron Man match in WWE history, where she took on Bayley for the NXT Women's Championship at TakeOver Respect last year. That
was an amazing match.
Yeah. Anytime Bayley and Sasha Banks are in the ring together, it's magic. I mean, Sasha Banks and Charlotte had some pretty damn good matches, too. If I remember correctly, this one was more of the same. Full disclosure, I gave Greg the choice between, I was like, okay, do you want to cover Roadblock End of the Line or TLC? He picked TLC. So we are not going to be covering the women's.
In my own opinion, I think I picked the better one, so.
Yeah, you probably did. I don't have them side by side to compare, but yeah, I don't remember watching Roadblock and was like, man, that was amazing.
Man, that's going to be on the pod one day.
Yeah, right. We got to talk about this, man. Get our hot takes. Flow Slam announced a new promotion and event for its streaming service, as it has inked IPW UK for a deal, which will start with the company's December 18th show and will continue with 12 events from the promotion in 2017. The first event will air on a delay from the Casino Rooms nightclub in Rochester, Kent, UK, headlined by Cody Rhodes versus Will Osprey. Back before Cody got booed by everybody while he's trying to be a babyface.
Something's never changed.
Right.
This was 5 years ago, by the way. Let's keep that in mind.
Yep. In the main event of a UK card against Will Osprey, who's been tearing it up in New Japan. I've never been like...
Guarantee you they didn't call him the R word.
Oh my gosh. That one, that still amazes me. I'm like, why that word? Like, of all the things you can chant at him, and...
They could have given him just 4-letter expletives and been like, whatever, it's just a wrestling crowd. I mean...
was that in New York or where? I forget where that took place. Do you remember?
Detroit?
I don't remember.
Atlanta? That happened. Well, Atlanta, it was Detroit. Atlanta was this week, or this past week.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure it was Detroit.
Well, either way, AEW crowds are usually fairly progressive and whatnot, so you figure of all people, they would not be chanting that. But, good Lord. It's... on top of just not making sense, it's just immature and stupid. Like, what? I don't know, man. Wrestling fans are weird sometimes. That's all I can say.
Well, they're still not as toxic as like a video game community where they use racial words and homophobic slurs and
oh, good Lord, yeah.
Talk about stuff they do with your mother.
Get them 11-year-olds on Call of Duty, when their parents aren't home, man.
Or if they're just farther away in the house, they don't necessarily be gone. Just
yeah.
not within hearing range.
Well, I don't know. Nowadays, man, they could probably say it right in front of their parents, and they might get a dirty side eye, but that's about it. The only reason I threw this one in here is because of the person the story involves. Progress Wrestling has held the Graps of Wrath that resulted in a which resulted in a very quick sellout. At the end of it all, Pete Dunn, who began 2016 not even on the roster as a regular, captured the Progress Championship in a huge 7-man finale.
He had to have been like 18 years old here.
Yeah, I don't know how old.
It means he could talk about. Anyway,
Oh, good Lord.
Oh, wait, he's from the UK, so 16, right? Marty Scurll will tell you.
Yeah, it's like 14 or 16. I forget which, yeah. Wow, he brought up the Marty Scurll story.
I just saw a story that apparently he's back, and his Instagram got reactivated too, so. I don't know where. I'm not supporting him. I'm not saying negative things. I don't have an opinion. So I'm just saying I just saw it because I followed him on there because he's a figure collector, which is really weird. I didn't know that, but
yeah.
Fun fact, he hates people that keep figures in box. He absolutely despises it.
Well, what's a good way to pick up, young teenagers, man, with toys?
Oh, Lord, you went there.
Oh man, I'm sorry.
Oh, cool. At least I didn't say the worst thing,
Pete Dunn, by the way, was 23 at this time. He's 28 now. And something else I just learned, his actual last name is England. So he's Pete England from England. It's kind of funny.
Damn. That's as proud as you can get, dude.
Wait, when your name is Pete England and you wrestle in England to start your career off, why are you changing that to a stage name? Just go with it, bro. Maybe he didn't want to be cheered because of his last name. I don't know.
Dude, he gets cheered no matter what. He's like a freaking a god over there.
Yeah, I know, right? Well, I mean that'd be like if you started your career in Alabama and your your birth last name was Cousin Lover, and you're like, nah, I gotta change it.
Holy crap.
I apologize to any listeners from Alabama. I just had to throw it.
It's okay. I got a feeling this is getting edited out. Anyways.
Leaving it in, man. Anyway, Impact Wrestling head writer David Lagana announced in November that he left the company. Lagana, who had worked for years with WWE and then with Ring of Honor before going to Impact Wrestling, wrote that, quote, "Today I made the decision to leave TNA Impact Wrestling, a decision I do not make lightly, but one that I made to create a future that I can control. In 2017, you need to look forward to 2020 and beyond. My focus now is on personal branding, technology, and the wild west of storytelling available to all content creators today." End quote.
All right, I would like to start with looking forward to 2020. No, you don't want to look forward to that year.
Yeah, right.
Spoiler alert. It sucks.
Yeah, it's like, you weren't looking that far ahead, were you, Dave? Yeah, Dave Lagana was around for a while. He doesn't have a Wikipedia page, so I can't look up see where he is now. But yeah, like I said, he was in WWE for a long time. That he was in ROH for like a second, and then he went to TNA. So he did a lot of their video packages, I think. And I believe Bruce Pritchard was saying he was like, yeah, he was kind of overworked, which, I believe it. They probably had a small staff and heavily relied on the people that they had. I don't know if you remember all this stuff. In a surprising move back in November, Billy Corgan announced on Twitter that he signed a settlement with TNA and Anthem Sports and Entertainment. The lead singer of the Smashing Pumpkins didn't say much, but he did mention that he'll be doing some media next week to, quote, fill in the blanks and spell out what is/isn't in the settlement. Anthem Property, the Fight Network, tweeted that they were, quote, happy with the arrangements made with Mr. Corgan, allowing Impact Wrestling to put this behind them and focus on producing great shows, end quote. Yeah, about that.
I remember him being an Impact. I don't remember any of that stuff, though. But to be fair, I stopped following Impact at the time.
Apparently, he bought Impact, and according to him, Dixie didn't let him in on, like, how many debts there were, and she didn't
like
give
buying
him
a house that's like filled with like termites and property taxes and everything.
There's mold in the wall, the foundation's cracked. They didn't say crap to you. You just find out when the first rain comes and you start getting leaks. But yeah, and I guess there was some settlement. He sued Dixie. And then he sued, well, I don't know if he sued Anthem when he sold it, but there was some settlement issues. Like, I think he was happy as hell to be out of TNA and that business completely. I don't think he knew what he was getting into when he joined. Do you remember he like popped up a couple of times before he actually bought it? He was just like, oh, look who's in our backstage area. It's Billy Corgan.
I do, yeah.
I remember seeing him, and I'm like, who's this guy? And I'm like, oh, that's Billy Corgan? I'm like, because I'd never seen him before. I'm like, you're the lead singer for the Smashing Pumpkins? You look like a dork.
Well, his band sucks too, to be fair, so.
Wow.
I never liked him, sorry.
Not touching that one. Somebody else's that you don't like. The Young Bucks, Matt and Nick Jackson, have signed a new 2-year contract, which covers both Ring of Honor and New Japan Pro Wrestling to continue on a similar schedule as they did this year. The deal has a significant increase in money from both companies from 2017 and another increase in 2018 and will allow them to maintain their own merchandise. Go figure, right? They're also
I can't lose on TV.
I love that gif. They're also going to have more input into creative, as they were the ones who set the wheels in motion for Matt Hardy's video on the show last night, which we'll get into here in a moment. Yeah, I wonder what's going to happen when that 2-year contract runs out, huh, Greg? Nothing, nothing big. They're just going to, re-sign or maybe go to WWE or, whatever. Anyway, moving on. Speaking of which, Friday's Ring of Honor Final Battle pay-per-view was already getting positive buzz before things got kicked up a few notches when Matt Hardy appeared on a video screen to challenge the Young Bucks in a surprise moment. Following the Bucks retaining the Ring of Honor.
He challenged the Bucks of Youth, actually.
Yes, yeah, that one. But following the Bucks retaining the ROH Tag Team titles in a match over the Briscoes, Broken Matt appeared on screen and cut a promo saying he and Brother Nero, a.k.a. Jeff Hardy, are headed to Ring of Honor so that they can, quote, render you ramshackle rednecks and spot monkeys obsolete, before claiming that they would delete the Bucks title reign.
If I remember correctly, they were going to chew off their feet so they could no longer deliver kicks of super.
What the hell?
That's what he said.
Matt Hardy's a nut. I like some of the stupid crap he would say. Like he called it the honorable ring. One of my favorites was the one where he said something about I buried this jobber better than the man of 3 H's or something like that.
Yep.
That was something. That was a bit more creative than, pulling a sledgehammer and then a golden shovel out from under the ring, By the way, when Triple H is home with health problems, by the way, just gotta point that out. A listener of the show was talking with me the other day about that. He was like, Triple H is home with health problems. Cody's like, I'm going to make fun of this MFer on TV.
And then Daniel kills himself.
Yeah, right. Do you think that was karma?
Could have been.
He felt them flames, man. That's all I'm saying. Somebody's telling him you're going to hell for that one.
Like, damn, dude. Like, you literally just had a kid. You're going to do that, but.
And his wife helped him do it while wearing a neck brace. Why was she on the show, by the way? There is zero reason for it. She literally walked out to set a table on fire.
Because she hasn't been on there, and we got to be reminded that it's her company.
Oh, yeah. It's AEW Dynamite with Brandy.
We hadn't said it in a long time, so there you go.
Yep. Real quick on Ring of Honor before we touch on the other stuff here. So it's a little ironic that Final Battle really may be their final battle.
I hate saying it, but I think that there's no question in my mind that it's the end.
Yeah.
Once Jay Lethal left, come on, dude, that's it. That's literally like if John Cena was to leave. That's it.
Well, now it's looking like the Briscoes may. Well, now it's looking like the Briscoes may pop up in AEW next. You see,
they're going to the great GCW, dude.
Oh my gosh! Are you serious?
I'm serious.
Oh, for God's sake! I hope that's just a pit stop.
Okay, but to be fair, can you see anybody else but them in GCW?
No, Yeah, well, okay, man. I think they started their careers in CZW when they were like 17, so it tracks. But you've been seeing their stuff online with FTR. They've been going back and forth.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's interesting, but
Because every time they get a CZW guy to appear on Dynamite, it can only be good.
yeah, right. Well, at least the Briscoes can actually wrestle.
One of them.
What? I'm assuming you're going with Jay on that one.
Yeah.
Hey, Mark is like if you're comparing him to another team, he's like Ortiz to Jay Briscoe Santana.
Man.
Moving on to some MMA here to close things out. I found some interesting stuff from UFC during this time. Two very surprising names were among those in a recent round of layoffs at UFC, Chuck Liddell and Matt Hughes. Both fighters were believed to have jobs for life, but were let go in cost-cutting measures by new owners, WME IMG.
Apparently they serve no purpose, so I don't know.
Yeah, I can't remember what their official job titles were, which should tell you something.
Executive Vice President, probably.
Wow. Good grief. There's a shot. But as we expected, when the announcement was teased earlier in the week, we saw the public unveiling of the latest organization to join the labor fight against the UFC and WME IMG, with George St. Pierre, Donald Cowboy Cerrone, Cain Velasquez, Tim Kennedy, and TJ Dillashaw in the fold. The Mixed Martial Arts Athletes Association was announced on a conference call with the media. Former Bellator CEO Bjorn Rebney joined the fighters on the call, saying that he's working as an advisor and helping provide strategy and support. The association laid out their plans to establish a collective bargaining agreement with UFC to establish a 50-50 revenue split between the promotions and the fighters. They are solely...
None of this would go anywhere.
We'll get to that. But they're solely focused on the UFC, and the participants claimed multiple times on the call that the UFC fighters only received 8% of the company's revenue. Isn't this kind of like every lawsuit in wrestling goes against WWE?
Pretty much.
Like, well, gotta sue them. I mean, UFC at this point was so big. Okay, even if they lost all of these guys, which they didn't, oh well. I mean, yeah, George St. Pierre is a huge draw in Canada. Cain Velasquez, huge name. But,
Dilla douche?
What?
So, yeah, but Dilla douche?
Yeah, I don't know, man. It's
a little slick in the grass?
Yeah, this, you don't like TJ Dillashaw, I take it?
I do not.
What did he do?
He's just a little pump. He dumped Uriah Faber to go train somewhere else, and thinks he's hot crap. And, he also got popped for steroids twice and was gone for a full year because he got suspended. So he's a cheater too on top of that. So there's plenty of reasons I don't like him.
Oh, well, did he dispute it, Greg? Because, John
he did.
Well, because I think John Jones has disputed like every single one of his failed drug tests, so that means we got to believe him.
Yeah.
I heard, by the way, he blocked a few people that actually reported the story of his failed drug test. So
yeah, I can't be having facts get in the way of a good lie.
Yeah, it's like, look, just because every time you drug test me I fail doesn't mean anything. All right?
Prove it.
Yeah, it's you, not me. Yeah, a 50-50 revenue split. Man, freaking Conor McGregor tried this years after this. It didn't go anywhere. It's never going to happen. Sorry. It's like wrestlers trying to get, insurance from the companies that they work for. Unfortunately, it's just not going to happen. Whether you believe in it or not, sorry. Last couple stories here. UFC announced that on the January 21st pay-per-view, originally scheduled at the Honda Center in Anaheim, California, is being moved to August 5th instead. Their February 11th show at the Barclays Center in Brooklyn, New York, will now become UFC 208 instead of 209. Originally, there was going to be a head-to-head battle. What?
That was the one I think that Conor McGregor attacked the bus.
Oh man.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that was the one.
Oh man, and he almost got thrown in jail for it, or did he get thrown in jail?
He did, but
Yeah.
Got right out. Just
Hey,
welcome to America.
yeah, hey, money talks, man. He's got all that money. He can bail himself out 1,000 times over, and well, he did. Originally, there was going to be a head-to-head battle that night, both on TV and regionally, as Bellator is running a Spike TV show in Los Angeles at the Forum, headlined by Chael Sonnen versus Tito Ortiz. Bellator tweeted, "Don't worry, SoCal, we'll be here for you." Oh, good.
Oh.
The January date was going to be difficult for UFC because there were no obvious main events for that show, given almost every major star and or champion either fought in November or is booked for one of the UFC's 5 December shows or was injured or unavailable.
Coincidentally, the January card this year is in the Honda Center, a.k.a. the Pond. And I'm looking forward to it. I'm trying to go, so probably waiting for tickets to drop.
How far of a drive is Anaheim from you?
It's 5.5, 6 hours.
Oh, that's not too hateful. That's like me to Chicago.
It's right next to Los Angeles, dude. So.
Yeah, well, I was just thinking that was a longer drive.
Literally down the street from Disneyland. Like, you could hear the fireworks from Disneyland's night shows at night from the Honda Center. I know this from the last UFC I went to.
Oh, wow. Yeah, because that's about the distance from me to Chicago. So that's not a hateful drive. Final story we have here. Also,
what about you in Nashville? Same way?
Yeah-ish. I got to look up the exact time it takes to get there. About 5-6 hours, something like that. Final story here involving Conor McGregor. Just when you thought Conor McGregor's 2016 couldn't get more interesting, the reigning lightweight champion is now a licensed boxer in the state of California. While he was granted a license in California, Fox Sports' Damon Martin says that he's expected to also attempt to gain licenses in other prominent states like Nevada, Texas, and New York.
Wonder where that's going to go.
To this date, he's had one boxing match. So
I think it's still the most watched one in history, too. At least bought one, I should say.
Yeah, I believe that.
And I think the most bought UFC event is him and Khabib. So, hey, the guy sells.
Yep. Hey, he sells stuff with his mouth, man. Just strictly on his mouth. Like, he had people actually
for absolutely freaking nothing.
He talks so good. He had people believing he was gonna go in there and beat Floyd Mayweather. I held out hope. I mean, he hung in there more than
there was never a chance in hell, but yeah.
Yeah. I mean, he hung in there longer than he probably should have, but at the end, he got gassed and got whooped, so it is what it is.
Yeah, well, those idiot Paul brothers, that's a good win for him.
Hell yeah, I'd pay to see him whoop the crap out of both of them. Not just one.
I don't believe in glorified murder, so I'm going to pass on that.
It depends on who it is, okay? Do they got it coming? All right, because, those two, I'd like to see it. But all right, that about wraps up the news and notes. We're going to take another break. When we come back, we're going to dive into WWE TLC 2016 right after this.
Follow us on Twitter at @mainevent_marks, Instagram at @mainevent_marks, and at @maineventcollector, and Facebook at facebook.com/maineventmarkspod.
This message is brought to you by Belly Up Sports. No, just kidding. This is not an NWO promo. This is just me, Kyle Sullivan, aka Shaggy Von Doom, the host of Here in Puckburg on the Belly Up Sports Podcast Network. I have a hockey podcast where we talk about hockey fandom and the love of the game and where that leads you in this game we call life. Why am I on Main Event Marks telling you about this? Well, what if I told you I had one half of the world's greatest tag team, otherwise known as the Main Event Marks, the one and only Greg, Superfly Greg. He was on, and he was talking about his love of the game. So you might want to come over and check that episode out. And if you like what you hear, you can check out the rest of our incredible episodes with our incredible hockey community, from PHF athletes, ESPN personalities, fathers of NHL players, and a whole lot more. Come by, follow the show, give a like, give a subscribe. and it'd be great to have you here in Puckburg. But enough about me. Let's get back to what you're really here for, the main event marks, because they are the cream of the crop. Oh yeah.
The main event marks are available wherever you get podcasts. Go to our link tree at linktr.ee/main event marks.
And we're back. Don't forget to follow us on all forms of social media, Twitter and Instagram. It's at @main_event_marks and at main event collector on Instagram if you want to follow Greg. He tweets out stuff about the show and about his figure collections. And on Facebook, we're at facebook.com/main event marks pod. Now, getting into the show at hand is WWE TLC Tables, Ladders, and Chairs 2016 from December 4th, 2016. This was at the American Airlines Center in Dallas, Texas. The attendance, 12,500.
That's why I laugh way too hard at that. I mean, that's what I call it too. But
yeah, I like it. I liked not Keith Urban, the frickin' Australian actor. I can't think of his name in Thor when he said it. You remember?
Hemsworth?
No, it's the other one. Carl Urban. That's it. Remember when he's holding the guns? He's like, they're from Texas. I was like, what the crap, dude? But during the kickoff pre-show, which I did not watch back, by the way, the team of Apollo Crews, the Hype Bros, which was Mojo Rawley and Zack Ryder, and
stay hypes.
And American Alpha, Chad Gable and Jason Jordan faced Kurt Hawkins, or bare minimum Brian. The Ascension, which is Connor and Victor, and the Vaudevillains of Simon Gotch and Aiden English. Jason Jordan.
Just like, what a team, man.
I know.
How the hell did this not make the show?
I know. I don't get it. But Jason Jordan won the match for his team by pinning Simon Gotch after performing Grand Amplitude. Uncle Dave rated it 2.25 stars. Well, you got to bump it up with that quarter star, man. I'm sure it earned it. Let's take.
I would have gave it at least 4, but
Yeah, right. Well, let's take a look at some of these people here. Apollo Crews still doing good in WWE. Mojo Rawley, Zack Ryder not there anymore. Chad Gable's still there. Jason Jordan gone. Kurt Hawkins.
I think he might be in the back.
I thought he was one of the people they released, but maybe not. I don't know. But let's see. Kurt Hawkins gone. Ascension gone. Vaudevillains gone. Damn. That's 2 people left out of this match.
Not many of them are doing anything.
Yeah, I know.
I
thought the Ascension was going to do something.
I can't believe they got rid of so-and-so. Okay, yeah, you're right. Now they can go do whatever they want. What are they doing? Oh.
Yeah. Oh, did you see that Fandango popped up in the NWA? That was weird. And he's now known as Dirty Dango. So.
God, that sounds like a horrible porn name.
Yeah. Why? Like, of all the names you could have went with, Dirty Dang. Like what? Well, you know what
I'll have to go back and look. I don't know if that was an up, down thing.
Yeah, I might have been.
I don't know.
Well, you know what, man?
They never drew a dime.
Anyway, moving on. This match is Heath, Slater, and Rhino defending the WWE Smackdown Tag Team titles against the Wyatt family of Bray Wyatt and Randy Orton, with Luke Harper in their corner. This one went just shy of 6 minutes. In the end, Rhino attempted a gore on Orton outside of the ring, but Luke Harper pushed Orton, resulting in Harper getting gored. Rhino returned to the ring to face Wyatt, who he believed was the legal man. Orton, however, surprised Rhino with an RKO for the pinfall win. Uncle Dave only gave it 1 star and 3/4. I gave it 2 stars. What say you?
Give it 2. It was fun.
Yeah.
Rhino and Heath are still teaming to this day, by the way, in TNA.
Yeah, so freaking weird. Like, I mean, it's not that they were a terrible team, but I'm just like, why is this the team that's like, gotta stick together, man? Because when people think of Rhino and Heath Slater, they think of a package deal, man.
As of this recording, Heath's going to be at the next BTW show in Newark next month. I might go.
Wow, nice. That's BTW?
Yeah, APW hasn't started back up yet, so I don't know what's up with that.
Strange, yeah. Well, after the match, Luke Harper brings the Smackdown tag titles to Orton and Wyatt, and they celebrate together. Bray then puts his title on Harper's shoulder, and Harper and Orton glare at each other for a moment before Orton puts his title on Harper's other shoulder, and they all pose together. Because, see, remember at the time, ladies and gents, Luke Harper knew that Randy Orton couldn't be trusted, but Bray Wyatt trusted him, so there was tension in the Wyatt family. Yeah, clearly. Because this all ended with Randy Orton burning down a shed, which apparently was very meaningful to old Bray. That's where all the bodies were buried under. Anyway.
Wait, did Bob Ross paint the picture?
What the hell?
You never heard that old theory? What if Bob Ross's pictures are all places where he hid the bodies?
What? Holy crap. That's effed up.
I didn't come up with it.
Oh, well, and
I
forgot.
Not believe it either, but I didn't come up with it.
Yeah, right. Here's a happy little burial site right here. That'll be our little secret.
You made it worse.
That's the way he talked. Well, this also, this also culminated in the infamous House of Horrors match on pay-per-view, which you were at live.
I took my mother to that because apparently I like my mother. I guess
Yeah, because you were like, you know what, Mom? Screw you.
You gotta watch this.
Yeah. Remember when you didn't get me all the stuff I wanted for my birthday when I was 5? Yeah, well, here's this. Oh, and you know what I say to House of Horrors, man?
Shut up and take my money.
Hell yeah. And
Damn
Lord
straight.
knows they did take my money.
Yeah. But we now go backstage with Dasha, who is now in AEW, oddly enough, standing by with Dean Ambrose. He's asked about James Ellsworth's condition, and he said, well, he's keeping his chin up. He's keeping his spirits up.
His chin, because,
Yeah.
He's got that hard chin.
Well, do you get it, Greg? Because he doesn't have a chin.
I didn't want it.
Yeah, he doesn't have a chin, you see. We got to smack you in the face with it. Dasha asks if Ambrose needs to keep his anger in check, and Ambrose says that his anger is his greatest asset. He ends by saying, as a great friend of mine once said, it's going to be hard times. We now go to Dean Ambrose's wife, Renee Young, standing by with AJ Styles, who says that he's been in TLC-style matches before, and he knows what to expect. He says that Dean Ambrose will only wake up in time to see him retaining his WWE title. So, is he referring to Full Metal Mayhem?
Yeah.
TLC-style matches? For those that don't know, Full Metal Mayhem was TNA's version of TLC. They got around the tables by saying, well, the frame of the table is metal, so you can use it. Whatever. Anyway, up next. Yeah. You're not buying it, Greg? Is that what I'm hearing here?
No. This was stupid, but...
Up next is Nikki Bella versus Carmella in a no disqualification match. This went for 8 minutes.
Carmella, where I started to fall asleep.
How dare you, Greg? You wake up for Nikki Bella, all right?
I don't care what they look like. I fell asleep.
She was the longest reigning Divas champion of all time, and if you forget, she'll remind you 20 times.
Yeah.
Cool.
Because that's how it mattered.
Yeah, cool. You held that ugly-ass butterfly belt longer than anybody. Good for you.
Championship, pal?
No, that was a belt. It's like a baby's toy.
Anyway. Use your hands?
I'm going to save the jokes on that one. Carmella's got a shiner.
That's all this match is good for, but, I save it. Okay.
Carmella's got a shiner under her right eye. Carmella had repeatedly been attacking Nikki Bella from behind, leading to this match. Not like John Cena attacked Nikki Bella from behind. Anyway, I said I was going to leave the jokes alone, but I couldn't. All right, it was right there.
You have that written down, don't you?
Carmella is no Lou Thez, but Nikki Bella has always been awful. Okay, it's just yikes. Speaking of awful,
gotten 10,000 times better to this day, though. Not saying she's amazing, but go back and look at this compared to now, she's way better. But,
Oh yeah, she's at least serviceable now. She's not having stinkers.
And I'm gonna hold the jokes. Okay, move
Speaking of awful, David Otunga's on commentary, and he's brutal. The match ends with Nikki.
I didn't think he was that bad. I just didn't think he added anything.
No, well, that's my
I feel
thing.
like he was just there.
Yeah, he wasn't necessarily, like, horrible. It's just like, it's like, why are you here? You add nothing. Wait, I don't know. And when he says stuff, like if he were to give his expertise as a former wrestler, I'd laugh my ass off because he wasn't good. So he's not a lawyer, even though he's, trained and educated in that. He's not a lawyer anymore.
Sure, McDivitt could be his only good opponent, but whatever.
Yeah. So I'm assuming he was a mediocre attorney, and then he was a mediocre wrestler and a mediocre commentator. So literally,
you sound like Richard Sherman, dude, the cornerback. His favorite word was mediocre on anybody he faced.
Wow. Well, the only thing he did was, marry somebody who's more rich and famous than him. So, cool.
She dumped him?
Yeah, they had a brutal divorce, and she tried to take full custody from him of their kids. So
you think he would have a leg up on winning? I don't know, maybe.
Leading to my analysis that he was probably a mediocre attorney.
All right.
Yeah, so there you go. But the match ends.
Clarify, by the way, you say brutal divorce. There was no physicality. Just got to clarify that.
I think she did allege that he was, like he put his hands on her or something. I don't know. I don't remember. Not like that was, topic of like something I needed to check up on daily. It's like I just got little blurbs and news flashes.
I've already forgotten what her damn name is, honestly, so there's that.
Jennifer Hudson. She's in that one movie with Adam Sandler on Netflix. Yeah, that.
She on America's Got Talent or?
Oh, I don't know. I don't even remember.
American Idol, a lot of those shows. I don't know.
Yeah, one of them damn things. Well, the match ends when Nikki sprays Carmella with a fire extinguisher and then hits the Rack Attack 2.0 for the win. I felt like I was watching.
Gotta say, man, what a name for a move, though, huh? Let's give her some credit for that.
That was like her only thing. She's like, what can I really get over with? I know, my big fake breasts. So I've got to draw attention to them any chance I get. Which, whatever.
But isn't that a rule in life? You go with what works.
Yep.
You can't fault her for that. You can't.
She walks to the ring ripping her shirt off. She calls her move the Rack Attack. I mean, there you go.
Did I ever tell you, real quick, going back to the Orlando WrestleMania, or was it? No, it might have been New Orleans with you. Didn't we see that little girl Izzy pretending to be her?
Yes. Yep. You were talking to her dad, and we were standing in line to meet, I think, the Ascension or somebody.
No, it was the Revival.
Okay, when we were standing in line to meet the Revival, and they were behind us, and you struck up a conversation with her dad, and right next to us was where you could do like a wrestler's entrance, and they would play the music and the Tron and everything, and you could come out on the stage. And Nikki Bella's theme came on, and she starts mocking, like doing the whole entrance right there and acting it out and I'm like trying to avert my eyes. I'm like, don't watch this little girl pretend to rip her shirt off because
she's like 12 at the time, maybe.
Maybe. Yeah, maybe. You're being generous. Yeah, it was weird. I'll just say that it was weird. But to wrap this match up here, I felt like
the good Lord, I was facing the other way, and you told me about it.
Yep, I saw it. My eyes got really big, and I looked away like, nope,
man.
Didn't see it. But I felt like I was watching a 4-minute match at half speed, to stretch it out to 8 minutes. Uncle Dave gave it 2 stars. I gave it 1, just barely. What say you?
How the hell did he give this 2?
I don't freaking know, man. He's weird.
I'll give it 1.
Trying to be nice.
I almost wanted to give it 0. I don't like giving matches 0 if they try. And I want to say they tried, so give it 1.
Well, like, there are certain streaming services that you can, like, speed it up or slow it down. You can do that on YouTube, whatever, make it double the speed or half speed or whatever. I felt like this match was that, at half speed. So, ugh.
The speed of smell.
Yeah. Well, after the match, Carmella grabs the microphone as Nikki Bella's leaving and says that she never attacked Nikki at Survivor Series. It was Natalya. Dun, dun, dun. Yay.
Yeah, that was a nice twist.
Yeah. That was, it's like a nice M. Night Shyamalan's twist. The twist is, it sucked. Actually, anymore, that would be, the twist would be if it didn't suck with M. Night Shyamalan's. But, we now go back to Dasha the Robot.
Speaking of that, and staying on wrestling, I heard Batista just signed off on a movie of his.
Really? Wow. Well, Batista's in that new Dune movie. Doesn't really say or do much, just kind of stands around and gets angry. But, he's in it.
And I like how the next Guardians is his last one. Like, yeah,
Really?
don't keep doing what's making you good.
Yeah. I don't want to star in these movies anymore that people actually watch. Any movie he was in before that, I was just kind of like, eh.
How
But anyway.
a Fast and Furious movie? I feel like he's tailor-made for one of those.
Yeah, he can at least act as good as Vin Diesel, so I might as well.
They make $1 million a piece.
Yeah. Well, he was in Spectre? Yeah, James Bond Spectre. That's right.
That was a good movie. He was really good in that, actually.
Yeah, I think he had, one line in the whole movie, but yeah.
That's why he was good in it.
Exactly. Anyway, we now go back to Dasha the Robot standing backstage with SmackDown General Manager Daniel Bryan. WWE interview.
Yeah, this took me back, by the way, because I forgot he was GM.
Yeah, I know. It's weird. And then you see where he is now. WWE interviewers always ask the dumbest, most meaningless questions, and Dasha keeps that trend going by asking Daniel Bryan if he favors some wrestlers over others, and if he really wants The Miz to lose his Intercontinental title tonight. The guy who's been personally attacking Daniel Bryan. Do you not like him? But Bryan says that, yeah, that's true, and Dolph Ziggler would be a better representation for SmackDown, but Miz does bring a star quality to the IC title. The Miz and Maurice then walk up.
He's a star quality everything, but whatever.
The Miz and Maurice then walk up, and Miz and Bryan both say that they don't like each other. Miz says that he wishes that he could push Daniel Bryan off of a ladder tonight, but he'll have to settle for watching The Miz retain his title tonight. I see that Maurice is back, by the way.
He was on last night.
Yeah, and, kudos to her, man, for having, don't they have, 2 kids now?
Mm-hmm.
Still looking that hot? Just good for her,
looking
man.
all kinds of roll tide.
Yeah, right. She was all the way live. That's all I got to say. But anyway, this next match is a ladder match. It is The Miz with Maurice defending the Intercontinental title against Dolph Ziggler in about 25 minutes.
A.K.A. Nikki.
Wow. During the match, Miz... excuse me, you're leaving out the caddy, okay?
No, I'm not.
Yes, he was Kerwin White's caddy.
I strategically remember trying to forget it. So
that's what we all remember him as. Don't try to hide it. All right. But during the match, Miz targets Ziggler's leg. Miz applies the figure 4 leg lock on Ziggler, whose leg was trapped in the ladder. As Ziggler climbed the ladder, Miz performed a slingshot powerbomb on Ziggler onto a ladder wedged in the corner. In the end, as Ziggler tried to retrieve the Intercontinental title, The Miz climbed up the ladder and attacked Ziggler with 2 kicks to the nards. Then he grabbed the belt for the win. Uncle Dave gave this 4 stars. I only gave it 3. Not to say I didn't like it, just I didn't think it was 4 stars. What say you?
I said 3 as well. I don't know how the hell we should get 4.
Yeah.
I don't know a lot of that stuff that guy says. So
he's actually, there were quite a few matches here that he rated higher than I did, and I'm just like, really? That's a change. Usually WWE shows he underrates things. But yeah, I don't know. I mean, this match was good. I'm not putting it down or anything. I enjoyed it.
The match they had at No Mercy 2 months prior, which I was at, was amazing.
I was
kind of worn out on these two.
I will say this was a golden age, in my opinion, or, well, another golden age for SmackDown. There was a lot of good stuff happening on SmackDown during this time period.
Good stuff, pal.
I mean, I remember I was legitimately hyped for every SmackDown pay-per-view during this era. So the Raw ones, I mean, there were quite a few that I was excited for too, but not quite as much as on the SmackDown side. So I don't know. It seems to just be the trend. Like you and I talked about it before. It's like SmackDown's always the better. Don't know why, just is. But Miz grabs the microphone after the match and says that he dedicates his win to Daniel Bryan because him constantly stacking the deck against the Miz has motivated him to be the greatest Intercontinental Champion ever. Miz says that Dallas hands out participation awards and the Miz and Maurice are winners. Did you see? I was just thinking about this because I've laughed about it in the past. Because there was a guy that you and I know that whenever we would play wrestling games together, and, if somebody was the Miz and he was Chris Jericho, he'd be like, "This is for stealing my everything, Miz." And
oh man,
did you see Chris Jericho was actually talking about the Miz recently on his podcast or something?
Oh, that company just can't keep that man's name out of their mouth.
I know, it's weird. I'm like, what is it with what did the Miz do?
He's a major star. I mean,
he is,
probably the only
but
crossover star right now they got. There's that. So, but
are they mad because his reality show is better than Rhodes to the Top or whatever the hell it's called?
I only seen like part of one episode of that, and I've seen all of Ms. and Mrs. It's just, it's great.
I heard Rhodes to the Top is just brutal to watch. I mean, it's got Brandy on it, so there you go. But yeah, I don't know. The Miz is great, but what Chris Jericho was saying was he said the Skull Crushing Finale is a stupid name for a move, and he stole it from him, and he called it the Breakdown, and that's a much better name for the move.
Jeff Jarrett?
Kind of. Jeff's was more of like
what about Canyon? Canyon did the other way.
Yeah, well, Jeff's is more of like a reverse Russian leg sweep, actually. If you look at it, I don't know. But close enough. Either way. And plus, it was like not many people remember that Chris Jericho even did that move. He only did it for like a hot minute.
I think he did it to win the WCW title from The Rock, and then maybe a time or two after that, and that was it.
Yeah, basically. But up next, we get Kalisto, now with backstage bitching action. According to Matt Cardona. He is taking on...
Oh, yeah. I didn't include that in the figure. I just want to know, but whatever.
By the way, did Kalisto, hasn't he had like a dark match or something in AEW?
He was on AEW.
Was he? Oh.
Yeah.
What is he going?
Del Sol. Samurai Del Sol.
Okay, I was just about to ask if he was going by his old name. Okay. Yeah.
The guy that should, go jump off a cliff because he spelled John Huber's name wrong,
Oh my gosh, yeah. I forgot about that. Oh, so stupid. People just don't like that fool.
I'm going to give him a pass on though. He literally spelled it like it is in the Bible, and he's probably hardcore Catholic. Are you seriously going to cancel him over that? That's
the normal spelling of John. So yeah, it's just, I don't know. Yeah. Like I said,
guys, I'm just saying for that I get, when people should ease up. Whatever else he did, I don't know.
Well, I guarantee
there's no big deal with that. I'm sorry. And
no,
also will correct, John to H. I can tell you for a fact it does it on mine. So,
Well, I'm just saying it's like I guarantee they did that only because they don't like that fool. If it was anybody else, they'd be like, whatever.
Well, he dug his own hole there. I don't know.
Yeah.
but he should be holding someone responsible for something stupid like that. It's not like he got his name wrong completely and called him like Ed or something. Jeez.
Didn't Kalisto's former tag partner there, Sin Cara, get into a backstage fight with Chris Jericho?
I don't know.
I know Sin Cara got into a backstage fight with somebody and like bit their
which one? The fake one or the real one?
Hunako, or whatever his real name is. Yeah.
The guy looked like a legit cholo, so he might have kicked his ass.
I guess he bit their fingers or something while they were fighting. And I was like, damn, dude.
Oh, fighting.
It's Kalisto versus Baron Corbin in a chairs match. This one went 13 minutes. This is another one of those infamous Baron Corbin, I'm big and you're small feuds. That was literally the premise of every feud he had for like 3 or 4
And
years.
he ain't even that big. I mean, he's a large guy. He's not that big.
I know. Like, oh, hey, little guy. Hey, yeah. It's like, dude, it's like the guys he's calling little, I mean, sure, Kalisto is short, but like someone like Finn Balor, he's above the national average of height. It's not like he's, Hornswoggle. I mean, come on. It's like, that just tells me, it's like, can they seriously not come up with anything better for him than I big, you small, we fight?
Sure.
Corbin dominates most.
And also, remember, in this matchup, in case you didn't know, they'll tell you 6 times, he's a former Gold Gloves champion. If you didn't know that, they will tell you.
And the Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal winner.
That's all right, yeah, because that means something.
Yeah.
At least the Gold Gloves you'd be proud of. I don't know what the hell that means.
Right. In the end, Corbin dominates most of this one. Kalisto does get in some decent offense here and there. In the end, Corbin swats Kalisto out of midair with a chair shot and then hits the end of days on Kalisto onto a pile of chairs for the win. This was actually better than I thought it would be. I thought it was going to be complete trash, but it wasn't. Uncle Dave gave it 2 3/4 of a star. I gave it 2.5 stars. What say you?
Dose.
I thought it was at least average. It was fun.
The ending was cool.
Yeah. Do you ever sit there and wonder, like, one of Baron Corbin's favorite moves is that one where, like, he gets thrown in the corner, but he, like, slides out and then slides back in the other side and clotheslines somebody? You ever wonder, it's like, was he a wrestling fan and he watched The Big Boss Man, or did somebody tell him to do that? And he just
did that. He does that Boss Man thing on the ropes, so it had to be that. Where he sets them on the second rope like a 619, but then he runs and jumps on their back.
Oh, yeah.
And he says he's done more, but.
I mean, that's Big Boss Man is great and everything. It's just kind of a random one. It's like, I was a huge Big Boss Man fan growing up, and I wanted to, adopt some of his moves. Okay.
I so wanted to be the guardian angel.
He wanted to be Big Bubba. He was inspired by that great feud he had with John Tenta over his head being shaved.
Good God.
It
now
culminated,
by the way.
It culminated in the Johnson City Silver Dollar match. Oh, for God's sake. Real match.
That's going to be my vote for next retrospective, is the retrospective of that match.
Oh, yeah. Well, we got to review all of them in the annals of history, man. Anyway.
You said a mouthful.
Backstage, Dasha is standing by again with Natalya and asks her.
Did you mention how real tight she was looking, by the way? Yeah.
Dasha or Natalya?
Yes.
All right, yeah. She's standing by with Natalya and asks her to comment on Carmella's accusations earlier in the night. Natalya says that she wishes Becky Lynch luck tonight and says that Carmella is lying. When Dasha says, well, why would she lie? And she goes, I don't know, because she's a liar.
I was expecting her to call her the B word there, but.
Yeah, I mean, it's nice that she didn't take the easy way out, but at the same time,
she's a liar.
What? Yeah, I don't know.
Oh,
she's
well,
a liar.
I'm convinced.
Yeah. Oh, well. That was harsh words from Natalya. Back to you, Mean Gene. Anyway, up next, it's Becky Lynch, not yet the man. She is defending the WWE Smackdown Women's title against Alexa Bliss in a tables match. This one went about 15 minutes. First thought that went through my head, how the hell are either one of these women going to go through a table? They weigh like 100 pounds soaking wet.
A lot of force, dude.
Yeah, I don't know. Well, do you remember that Hell in a Cell where Sasha Banks could not get put through a table no matter what the hell happened?
Yeah, I think I was at that one.
Yeah, like Charlotte kept throwing her into a damn table, slamming her into a table, and that damn thing would not break. I'm like, dude, Sasha's like 90 pounds. Yeah, she's not going to go through the table. They must have gimmicked these ones pretty well. That's all I got to say. But again, first note, this was better than I thought it would be. The match ended with when Lynch and Bliss fought onto the ring apron above a table. Bliss gets pushed down to the floor, and then she hits a powerbomb off the apron to Lynch through a table for the win. She is the new champion. Uncle Dave only gave this a 1.75 stars. I actually gave it 3 stars because of who's in it. I thought it was one of the better Alexa Bliss matches I've ever seen. What say you?
I thought it was one of the better matches of the night at this point, so I gave it 3 as well.
Yeah, it was really good. And all cards on the table here.
Don't think Alexa gets enough credit.
I'm not a fan of her in-ring work. I never thought she was very good. I don't think she's bad. I don't think she's very good. I don't know.
I think she's way better than people give her credit for.
Well, there's a certain, friend of mine who would vehemently disagree with me about Alexa Bliss. And he'd get very angry with me for even saying this. I don't know. I think she's a great character. I've never looked forward to an Alexa Bliss match. I'll just say that. But this one was really good. I
always look forward to seeing her in a match.
Well, if you're going to put it that way, But outside of the ring, Dasha asks Becky how she feels right now, and Becky says that she let herself down, she's upset with herself, and she doesn't feel good. Oh, well, I expected her to feel great after that loss and, just getting thrown to a damn table. So I for one, am shocked. Good Lord. Anyway, we're going to take our second to last break here. When we come back, we're going to dive into the main event right after this.
Follow us on Twitter at @mainevent_marks, Instagram at @mainevent_marks, and at @maineventcollector, and Facebook at facebook.com/main-event-marks-pod.
Hello everyone, my name is Ryan McCarthy, and I'm the host of the No Credentials Required podcast. Start your work week with the Monday Drop-In, where I talk about the sports beat in the Capital District, also known as the Mighty 518, as well as Metro New York sports from an upstate point of view. I also give a life lesson from a weekly sports story, so you might learn something from that. I also have a midweek podcast where I interview different sports personalities and talk about a wide array of topics. Take a listen and subscribe on your preferred podcast app, including Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Spreaker, Google Podcasts, Amazon Music, and iHeartRadio. Also check out our social media channels on Twitter and Instagram, BellyUpNCR, and Facebook.com/BellyUpSportsNCR. We're a part of the Belly Up Sports Podcast Network in association with Godzilla Media. No credentials required, where you don't need a press pass to talk sports.
The Main Event Marks are available wherever you get podcasts. Go to our link tree at linktr.ee/main event marks.
And we are back.
And we're back.
It is main event time. It's AJ Styles defending the WWE title in a TLC match against Dean Ambrose, who now is Jon Moxley in AEW, for any of you out there who are just now getting into wrestling. Hey, we welcome the newcomers. If you're wanting to be a mark, you can. What better place to get educated than on this very podcast, Greg?
You can be a mark too. I'm
exactly.
A mark. You're a mark. We can all be marks.
All you got to do is live in your mom's basement and eat her meatloaf and play World of Warcraft, and you're halfway there, man.
What's that mean, Mom? Bring me a hot pocket of me a badass on Facebook.
Oh, hey, bring me a hot pocket. I'm about to go on a rant on WWE on Twitter. Anyway, this one goes just shy of 31 minutes. AJ Styles rips a hole in the ass of his tights at one point. I had forgotten about this. I saw it. I knew that. I
don't think I ever saw it to begin with.
I remember I saw it on the pay-per-view because I was like, did he just rip his ass? I just forgot about it. That's not something you put to memory. It's like, remember this date when AJ Styles gets a hole in the ass of his pants. But Ambrose then sets a ladder up on one commentary table to hit an elbow drop onto Styles to the other commentary table. Ambrose climbs the ladder, but Styles stops him and then hits a springboard 450 splash onto Ambrose to a table set up outside the ring. Styles climbs the ladder, but now James Ellsworth appears and he distracts Styles.
Okay, stop real quick. I remember this vividly, and I felt like I knew going in, I knew exactly what was going to happen. I am not proud of that, by the way.
The ending shocked me, but at the same time, I was just like, why? Like, no, it wasn't just, I know it's like, you didn't see that coming. It's like, yeah, because it sucked.
Because it shouldn't have been coming.
Yeah, it's like, there's subverting expectations, and in a good way. It's like, swerve, cool, I didn't see that coming, wow. And then we didn't see it coming because we don't want to see that. Like, it should never happen. But anyway, Ellsworth.
What is so stupid about it, too, is like what Ellsworth was. How am I supposed to take that seriously as a heel?
Yeah, I know. And then he finished out the rest of his WWE tenure as a stupid-ass heel. And nobody cared.
It was funny.
For a bit, and then I feel like it was a bad joke that went on way too long. And then he got in trouble with underage girls, and he was out of there. Anyway.
Did he get exonerated of that, though?
Maybe. I don't know. I assume he did, because he didn't go to jail. So yeah, it was all alleged. Obviously, he didn't get, he didn't do any time for it. So let's be fair to him. But anyway, as Styles attacks Ellsworth, Ambrose stopped him and hit Dirty Deeds onto the ring steps. As Ambrose climbs the ladder again, Ellsworth pushes the ladder over, causing Ambrose to fall through 2 tables set up outside of the ring. Styles then finally climbs the ladder and grabs the WWE title to retain it. Uncle Dave gave this 4.5 stars. I gave it 3.5. What say you?
3. It was really good, though, until that stupid ending.
Yeah, the ending brought it down a little bit for me. And it was a really good match, but I'm like, damn, dude, you almost gave this 5 stars? Like, again, it's all subjective.
Almost like it was in Japan or something.
I know. It's like this wasn't even in a dome. Like, come on. Whatever. I don't know. But Uncle Dave's weird. But that wraps up the show. We're going to take our final break. When we come back, we're going to go into the final ratings and tell you what's to come next on the podcast.
Follow us on Twitter at @mainevent_marks, Instagram at @mainevent_marks, and at @maineventcollector, and Facebook at facebook.com/maineventmarkspod.
Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and good night. My name is Thomas, and what's your name?
I'm Alan.
Alan.
Yeah. We're brothers.
That's right.
Yeah. Same mother and father.
Your room was...
We shared a room.
Shared a room.
We shared a room.
Thought I knew your face.
Yeah, we go way back, mate. Yeah.
We should do a podcast then.
We have.
We do a podcast.
We do a podcast.
What's it called?
The
Broadcast.
Yeah, that was planned.
Yeah. Well.
What do we do?
Well, we cover all different things in the world of pop culture. We're talking about comic books, we're talking about professional wrestling, and we're talking about movies. Go back and watch classic retro wrestling events, the likes of WWE, WCW, and if you do like that, you can check us out on Apple iTunes, also on Podbean, Anchor, and on Podknife. Also check us out on Twitter at The Broadcast. That's BROKAST. There. Nearly stuffed up the ending.
Yeah, it's all right. Good on you.
Yeah. Instagram also at The Broadcast Podcast.
Remember, we don't spell it with a C. We spell it with a K.
Sorry, mate.
Take it easy.
The Main Event Marks are available wherever you get podcasts. Go to our link tree at linktr.ee/main event marks.
And we're back.
Final
ratings time. Internet Movie Database gives this 7 out of 10. CageMatch.net keeps it pretty close, 7.08 out of 10. I gave it 7.5 out of 10 for C+. What say you?
I gave it a B-. That was a really good show. Minus some of the stupid crap.
Yeah. I mean, it was really good. The women's, excuse me, the tables match was good. TLC match was good. The chairs match was pretty decent. Ladder match was good. You can kind of skip the first 2 matches. Nobody would hate you for it. So it's all in all, it was a pretty good show, especially for not being one of the big 4. It's perfectly acceptable. But that wraps it up for WWE TLC 2016. Man, we have 3 more shows if you count the bonus show before the end of the year. We're starting the countdown now, man. And next week, I'm really excited because it's double main event week. It's bonus show time. But first, on December 22nd, just 3 days before Christmas, we're bringing you a gift from 10 years ago. It's TNA Final Resolution 2011. Do you remember anything about this particular show?
I have not watched it back yet. I'm sure it'll come back to me when I see it.
Yeah, I know this was during the era of Bobby Roode. So it's I haven't watched it back yet either. So I'm looking forward to it. I usually enjoy TNA from around this time. So it'll be fun looking back. I always love Bobby Roode. Yeah, he's in a 30-minute Iron Man match for the world title in the main event. It's him and AJ Styles. So James Storm takes on Kurt Angle, Gail Kim and Mickie James. It's good stuff, man. I'm looking, running down the card. It all looks pretty good. So looking forward to watching that. But we've got our bonus show next week. It's a first of its kind. We've never done an interview before in the history of the show, but I felt this was best time as any to do it. We're going to have John Arezzi on next week on Christmas Day, actually. He's going to be interviewed for our bonus show of the month. People may remember him from the Dark Side of the Ring episode on the steroid trial. It was the season finale, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. That was fun. And he's been in and around wrestling for 30 some years. He has his podcast, John Arezzi's Pro Wrestling Spotlight, that you can check out, where he plays old interviews with wrestlers and talks about old wrestling and stuff like that. It's a good show if you like retro wrestling like this right here, so it's a perfect fit for us.
I forget what our bonus show was, but I know it was going to suck, so I'm glad we substituted it.
Yeah, there were a couple different things I had in that slot, and then when I found out that we could get John Arezzi for an interview, he's willing to give us some of his time, I was like, hell yes. You and I jumped at it, so we're trying to get more interviews for the future. I'm working on it, but around this time of year, it's a little harder.
I mean, I have a really good wrestler that we can get, but Troy doesn't want to get him, so
he's not a wrestler. It's just no. It's like that episode of Friends where Rachel brings in that Siamese cat.
Oh yeah, it's not a cat.
Yeah, Joey Hughes. It's not a cat.
Kevin's like, is this some sort of snake or something?
Yeah. I love that. But then we're closing out the year, December 29th, just 2 days before the end of the year. It is WCW Starrcade 1998. Oh, we've talked about
beginning of the end.
Yeah, we talked about things from the show, or well, not this show, but this era in the past.
I think I just realized what our January bonus needs to be.
Oh, for God's sake, what? The finger poke of doom?
Think about it, yeah.
Oh, God, Lord.
Well,
yeah.
When you ask me, in a couple of days, which our January bonus should be, you now know my answer. There you go.
Well, there's actually going to be a poll, bro, for a couple of things in January. I'm going to be posting those polls here actually this week, so keep a lookout on Twitter for that, and I'm going to try to share them on all forms of social media, actually. So keep an eye out on social media. Again, on Twitter and Instagram, we are at @main_event_marks, and on Instagram, it's at Main Event Collector. Everything gets shared on there as well, but that one's run by Greg exclusively. We also
go check out my AEW display. I just uploaded it.
Nice. There's also on Facebook, you can check us out at facebook.com/main-event-marks-pod. And don't forget to check out our link tree. It's got all of our links to wherever you can listen to the podcast, our YouTube, our swag shacks, where you can get merchandise on Bonfire and Redbubble, and, of course, our social media links. It is linktr.ee/main-event-marks. That's our link tree. You can get everything there.
Yeah, we should start a Facebook group and see if it gauges any interest.
Yeah. Hey, listeners, faithful, reach out to us. Let us know if you want to.
Okay, we don't use faithful on this show.
Why?
Because that's what the Niners call themselves, and screw the 49ers.
Good Lord. Well, Well, if you want to engage with the host of your favorite retro wrestling podcast, let us know. But yeah, we'll take that under advisement and keep an eye out for the polls, bro, on all forms of social media. You can vote for what's on the show next month. Thanks for joining me today, Greg. Mm-hmm. We'll see you next week for TNA Final Resolution 2011 and our interview with the one and only John Red.
Ho, 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 ho! Merry Christmas!